Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn next chapter of accountancy, grade 12th, that is cash flow statement. As far as your boards are concerned, this is very important chapter because it is very voluminous for marks. 12 to 15 marks sums and few short answers, maybe in the form of MCQ or filling the blanks, are asked from this chapter. So for unit 2, this chapter is very important. First of all, we'll see the meaning of cash flow. It is a statement that shows inflows or outflows of cash and cash equivalents during a given period of time. That means in the case of companies or of business enterprise, it is a time of one financial year. Cash flow statement is a statement that shows the flow of cash and cash equivalent during a period under one report. The cash inflows and cash outflows that we take into consideration are as listed. These are the particulars or these are the things which gives us an idea about the movement of cash in a business enterprise, whether it is sole trader or it is in partnership form or it is joint stock company. But in unit 2, as we are more focused in a company format, we will looking into all the particulars which are initiated in a joint stock company. Cash inflows suggest all the things which will improve the cash balances. They are cash sales, cash receives against trade receivables, insurance claim received, cash received from sale of investment, cash received from sales of fixed assets, cash received from sale of securities, loans advances received, proceeds from issue of equity share, preference shares, and debtors. Cash outflow includes cash purchases, cash paid against trade payables, operating expenses paid, cash purchases of investment, cash purchases of fixed assets, loans and advances given, loan and advances repaid, buyback of equity shares, redemption of preference shares, and debenture. As per Accounting Standard 3, the changes resulting in the flow of cash and cash equivalent arises on account of three main types of activities. They are cash flow from operating activity, cash flow from investing activities, cash flow from financing activities. Operating activities are principal revenue producing activities of the enterprise and other activities that are not investing or nor financing activities. Investing activities are the acquisition and disposal of long term assets and investment that is not included in cash and cash equivalent. Financial activities, these are the result in the change in size and composition of owners, capital, and borrowings of the enterprise from other sources. In short, operating activities generally include the main primary work of a business, while investing activity and financing activity are the secondary activities. Investing activity mainly consists of fixed assets and investment, whether there is inflow or outflow depending on the sale or purchase of both. Financial activities or financing activities give us the detailed information about the finances, that is capital of the firm, whether the capital is repaid or the ratio of equity to debenture, equity to debt keeps on changing or not. Cash includes the cash in hand in the business and the bank balance that owes in the part in the name of the company or a firm. Cash comprises cash in hand and the demand deposit with the bank. Demand deposit means the amount that can be withdrawn at any time. Cash equivalents are the short term, highly liquid investments that are readily convertible into known amount of cash and which are subject to an insignificant risk of change in the value. Example short term investment. Generally, these investments have a maturity period of less than 3 months. So, bills payables, bills receivables, and debtors are under this section of cash and cash equivalents. Some examples of cash equivalents are short term deposit, marketable securities, treasury bills, commercial paper, money market funds, money market investments in preference share, if redeemable within 3 months, provided that there is no risk of the failure of the company. Cash flow exclude movements between the items that constitute cash or cash equivalents because these components are part of the cash management of an enterprise rather than the part of its operating, investing, and financing activities. This means when any cash or cash equivalent either purchase or sale and there is mobilization of cash between the cash and its equivalent, these things are not recorded in cash flow statement. Some of these examples which are considered as the movement between cash and cash equivalents are given below. They are cash deposited in bank, cash withdrawn from bank, sale of cash equivalent securities, purchase of cash equivalent securities. So these items are not included in the cash flow statement. The format of cash flow statement is first we will list all the operating activities and the final amount from operating activities will be written. Then it is cash flow from investing activities, then cash flow from financing activities. The net amount is considered as net, either increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents out of these three total activities. Then the cash balance at the beginning of the year that was given in the balance sheet should be added, and the final answer of the cash flow statement is the closing cash balance of that particular year. Objective of cash flow statement to ascertain how much cash or cash equivalents have been generated or used in different activities, that is operating, investing, and financing activity, so that we can know the amount of each activity. To ascertain the net changes in cash and cash equivalents, to assess the causes of difference between actual cash and cash equivalent and related net earnings or incomes, to help in formulation of financial policies such as dividend policy, fixed assets policy, capital structure related policy, to help in short-term financial planning, to ascertain the liquidity of an enterprise. Limitations of cash flow statement. Non-cash transactions are not taken into consideration, like shares or debentures issued to vendors, depreciating the fixed asset or depreciation charge for fixed assets during the year. It is a statement related with past data, so no future information or forecast can be used or added. It is not used for judging the profitability of enterprise. That means profit will be a certain or the cash will be a certain, but the efficiency cannot be judged. Accrual accounting concept is ignored in this statement. That means only cash transactions are taken into consideration. No credit transactions like credit purchase or sales or any outstanding expense or accrued incomes are not taken into consideration. Now we will see the cash flow from operating activities. Operating activities are the main revenue generating activities of the enterprise. It also includes all those transactions which are not included in investing and financing activities. Cash inflows include cash sales, cash received from debtors, cash received from commissions and fees and royalty. And when the firm is financial company, at that time receipts of interest and dividend because their primary activity is lending and borrowing the money. They are dealing in capital. So all the particulars related with capital will be considered as their operating activities only. Proceeds from sale of security. Here, the securities are not their investment, they are actually the stock in which they are dealing. Cash outflow includes non financial companies, cash purchases, payments to creditors, payments of operating expenses, payment of wages, income tax. Financial companies includes payment of interest, payment of purchases of securities. This is the pro forma of cash flow from operating activity. It begins with net profit before tax and extraordinary items. Then all the non-cash expenses are added. They are depreciation charged during the current year, all the fictitious assets like preliminary expenses, discount on issue of debenture, share issue expenses are written off, and intangible assets like goodwill, patent, and trademarks amortized, that means again written off. Interest on long term borrowing and debentures, loss on sale of fixed assets and investments, all these things are to be added, and things which are to be deducted are interest income, dividend income, rental income, profit on sale of fixed asset or investment. So, whatsoever incomes are to be added, and whatsoever expenses are to be deducted. Then there will be working capital changes. Here also the same funda, that is, whatsoever are favorable things will be added and unfavorable things will be deducted. As we have seen in the previous part, that all the expenses are added, non-cash expenses are added, extraordinary incomes are also deducted. So whatsoever expenses are added and incomes are deducted, same way in working capital includes current assets and current liability. So when current assets are increased and current liabilities are decreased, that is favorable condition. But here favorable conditions are done in a reverse manner. So all the favorables will be deducted and all the unfavorables will be added. After that, you will get the final amount of net cash flow. In that, you are going to add income tax paid. The actual amount paid during the year is to be calculated. Cash flow before extraordinary item. Any extraordinary item, either it is loss or profit, which do not occur on a regular basis, will be taken into consideration. Cash flow before extraordinary item, that is either it is a profit on sale of fixed asset or investment, or it is a loss on sale of fixed asset or investment. That will give the final answer of net cash flow from operating activities. For finding out the actual income tax paid, we have to make altogether income tax account. The taxation account will have a opening and closing balance. that is unpaid amount in the beginning of the year, in the closing of the year, the income tax that is actually paid, which is mentioned in the profit and loss statement, and the difference will be actual tax paid during the year. And this amount will be used for cash flow statement in operating activities. Next is cash flow from investing activity. Investing activities are those activities which are related to the acquisition and disposal, that is buying and selling of fixed assets and investments. It also includes income from fixed assets and investments like rent received, interest received on investment, dividend received on investment in shares and mutual funds. Inflows of cash are cash received from sale of fixed assets, cash received from sale of investments, cash received from sale of intangible assets like patents, interest received, dividend received, and rent received. Same way, outflows of cash that are minus, that means they are to be deducted from the statement. That is cash paid from sale of fixed asset, cash paid from sale of investment, cash paid on sale of intangible and fixed assets like goodwill, patents, and copyrights. For calculation of sale or purchase of fixed assets and investments, the following accounts are to be prepared. They are fixed asset account and investment account. These accounts are prepared exclusively when in the numerical in the question there are adjustments related to depreciation or provision for depreciation, and if investment is purchased during the year. So there is interest to be charged. Fixed assets are prepared by two methods. One, they are used at written down value, and another one when provision for depreciation account or accumulated depreciation account is separately maintained. So the same amount of provision of depreciation is used, and the profit or loss on sale of fixed asset will be taken back to operating activity, that is extraordinary incomes, and from provision of depreciation account the actual depreciation will be transferred to the original asset account. Investment account, here also there is the opening and closing balances. That means the investment at the beginning of the year and end of the year will be shown. Whether it is purchased or it is sold, that should be mentioned here, maintained, and the difference amount should be taken to the investing activity. Now, profit or loss on the sale of investment should also be taken into consideration, and it should be maintained in operating activity again as extraordinary incomes and expenses. Next and last activity of cash flow statement is financial activity. Financing activities are those activities that are results in the change in the size and composition of the share capital. That mainly includes equity and preferences. Also, the borrowed fund of the business enterprise. Generally, costs related to these funds also included in financing activity like interest paid on loans, debentures, and dividend paid on equity and preference capital. So, whether there is inflow or outflow of cash, along with that, if there interest paid or dividend paid on financing activity should also be taken into considered under this head or under this financing activity. Cash inflow in financing activity are proceeds from issue of shares, proceeds from issue of debentures, proceeds from long-term borrowing, increase in balance of bank overdraft. When the liability increases, that gives the hint that company has invested more money. Cash outflows in financing activity includes payment of loans, payment for redemption of preference share, payment for buying back the shares, income tax paid, decrease in balance of bank overdraft. That means the bank overdraft is repaid. There are certain additional points that are to be taken into consideration while maintaining a cash flow statement. They are as follows. Dividend paid. It is always be the part of financing activity, whether it is finance company or non-finance company, because every company has its own share capital on which the dividend is to be paid to their own shareholder. Rent received. If the business is related to estates or property group, then the rent is considered to be part of its operating activity. But if it is any other business, it is considered as non-operating activity and it will be deducted from net profit and added in the financing activity. Rent paid is always to be part of operating activity, whether it is a estate company or not. Interest received. It is an amount received on the investment, whether we have purchased debenture of any company or bond of any company. It is always non-operating income and it is subtracted from net profit. If it is in a part of adjustment, so it will have obviously two effects. It will be shown under the inflow of investing activity as well. Dividend received, same way the treatment of interest received will be made for dividend received. It will be shown in operating activity as well as in investing activity. Bank overdraft or cash credit. It will be considered in financing activity, whether it is increase or decrease, that will give the in- increase or decrease of capital. So it is considered under financing activity. Goodwill, if there is increase in the amount of goodwill in the current year from the previous year, it is considered to be purchase of goodwill and it is proved to have outflow in investing activity. If there is decrease in the amount of goodwill, that is considered to be amortization of goodwill and will be added as non-cash expenses at the time of operating activities. Interest paid, if it is given in the profit and loss statement, it will come under operating activity if it is financial finance company and it will added to net profit if it is non-finance company. This is all for the cash flow and the additional adjustments. I hope everyone is clear. Thanks for watching.